Hi, I'm Jet. My pronouns are she and her. I am a glowing dark brown femme with long blonde box braids. I'm wearing an African print mudcloth 5-panel cap, a black square neck dress, and silver Fulani earrings. Behind me is my pink apartment with a bunch of things in the background, like my curtains and my fan, because I run hot. I'll be reading an excerpt from a longer work about the consequences of being in close proximity to the capital S system. Something about the system. I'm a hermit who likes to dress well, so being in the house isn't a challenge for me. My immediate and distant community really stepped up during our self-sequestering, and folks were talking to each other every day. Some folks came out the woodwork, and I kept them there. Other conversations with people from my past emerged out of concern and curiosity. What were we up to? How had we been impacted? On a 5-hour FaceTime with one of my best friends, B, we connected with a former roommate from college, Tia. It had been years since we'd been in touch, and I was genuinely interested in her life. According to social media, she was rich now, without the help of an aging man, and she was still as beautiful and crass as the first day that we met. We joked about the bitches from school that we didn't like, the ones who found fame and success, and the others finding contentment in posting terribly lit pictures of disgusting food on Facebook. I shared my personal discontent for not showing up at one march, not even the local one right outside my doors. She reminded me that I'm brave and that there were so many other times when I put my life on the line. I was so confused. Brave? Life on the line? I did not remember this person who she was talking about. She was talking about me in both the past and present tenses. And then I remembered. When I was 20 years old, I lived in Philadelphia as a student. Me and 3 or sometimes 5 other Black women, all edging out of girlhood, lived in a spacious row house in South Philly. Some of us were in the same fashion program. All of us were motley and trying to find our way through. It was summer and we staged a photo shoot for B's graduation project. Black girls in college, a block from our shared house, going to spend a couple of hours taking pictures. Tia met us briefly after she got a Lucy from the corner store. Our friend, a white girl from Easton, Pennsylvania, was our photographer. And randomly, our neighbor, another white girl who also went to our school, was out there too. It was a normal day for us. Shit started when we moved a cone to use as a prop for our on-location scene. None of us were from Philly, so we didn't know the importance of the coveted parking spot or the stolen orange municipal cones that people used to save theirs. Some old fella with a robe like Red Fox on Sanford and Son and hair like Clarence Williams III or Clarence Thompson during quarantine, I can imagine, stuck his nappy head out the window to chastise us for moving his precious cone. He called us every pejorative except children of God, and then he called the police. A short, dark-haired white man rolls up on a bicycle. Us, being the metropolitan women we were at the time, possessed even less respect for his self-ordained authority. Yo, short white ass is on a bike trying to regulate. We all knew this as a joke. He knew it too. He took the cone, I think, and then he ordered us to leave. Reluctantly, we did, but not without protest. My roommate, who I was close with at the time, but am now no longer, popped off, calling him a pig, oink, shouting his badge number, and threatening to sue. My mother is a lawyer, you asshole. Little man on that bike could not handle being the target of women's ridicule, most of us Black. Before her litany of insults could conclude, he was on her, literally. He rode his bike right up to her, snatched her, hopped off his cycle, punched her in the face and head several times, and then threw her to the ground. He ripped her shirt and her bare breasts were exposed. We all stood there frozen. Philadelphia PD has a notorious record for violence against its citizens, and this motherfucker showed no mercy. This was not a time when there were videos circulating around that inflamed already hot-headed white supremacist crackers during their dirt. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he didn't shoot her in cold blood because his micro penis couldn't handle name calling. As we stood in shock, I caught a glimpse of my roommate's hand. She was held a heavy vintage mirror, each corner embellished with golden flowers and pointy edges. I knew that there was going to become a weapon used to protect her from this beating. I honestly blocked most of this shit out. And when all these negricides started making rounds online a few years back, I didn't realize that this was the moment that had kept me away from those protests. I'm not as brave as I wish I could be, but also I'm not so good at accurately measuring my worth or acknowledging my good qualities. Trauma has a way of informing your personality, memory, and challenging your self assurance. In that moment, I saw a friend who was suffering a great harm and I threw my body in the way. I jumped in, pushing the officer away. I grabbed the mirror, and all I remember is being pushed on my ass, rolled over to my stomach, foot on back, and watching a shit ton of fucking cock-sucking police pointing guns at my friends as they faced the wall. Helicopters and everyone within a block's radius from our pre gentrified neighborhood spectated. Then we were in a van. Thank you.